Next we go to Lawson and the Lady Cardinals, a team that every year over the last 3 or 4 years has been right there, won a couple of district titles this year. Came up just short due to some injuries that happened to a couple, in fact both of their all-stars here this year. Kind of got hurt down the stretch and made it a rough run on it, but they were able to make it all the way to the district finals where they ran into St. Pius. Of course, a very good team. I mean, their head coach Lisa Glenn, sophomore Kayla Glenn, and unfortunately their other all-star Jared Castaway couldn't be with us.
Thank you, Chris and Brian and the entire KKWK staff. Thanks to Steve and the college for hosting this nice banquet. Yeah, Jaren Castaway couldn't make it tonight. She was the other all-star, and she's a junior for us and led us in a lot of statistical categories. And I'm not going to throw out a bunch of numbers because just like everybody else that's sitting out there that's on this list, everybody's putting up great numbers. Kayla with me tonight. She's a sophomore guard for us and does a lot of great things and a lot of unmeasurable things that don't necessarily show up on the statistics. She's the kid that I think every coach would love to coach. She eats, sleeps, breathes basketball, and sometimes you can't always coach that. It's just in her blood and it's part of who she is. She reads about it, she watches it, she is always in the gym. Fortunately for her, she knows where the coach keeps the keys, and so she often is asking me for those, and she just can't get enough gym time. And unfortunately, like Chris mentioned, for both of our all-stars, same night, they both ended their season on February 5th, and so we call February 5th a costly loss for us. It was a 1-point loss to Hamilton, and Jaren went down in the second quarter with a knee injury, and Jaren went down in the third quarter. In the middle of the second quarter, Kayla comes up from a loose ball pile that resulted in a jump ball, and the referee's walking her to the sideline and said, "Coach, she dislocated her finger." And sure enough, Kayla's holding her hand up, and one finger the pinky finger is going to the side, almost 90-degree angle. And after the game, she taped it up and played the rest of the game, and the whole next week she was trying to convince the doctor to wait to put the pins in and no surgery so she could keep playing. And she would have if her parents and her doctor would have agreed with that. But we said no, and so unfortunately that was the end. But after the game, the only thing she said was, "I think anybody got a picture of that?" That's just the type of kid that Kayla is. She's tough and she does whatever it takes. She just wants to be on the floor. And again, not every coach gets the luxury of coaching a kid like that. But I do have that luxury, and very proud of her and Jaren, and congratulate her and congratulate everyone for making the All-Star team.
Next, we stay with Lawson, and of course, I don't know how you coaches decided between the two nominees that Coach Smith put up, Dalton Petty, and the one that made it, Marcus Sales. Both of them had fantastic numbers. They kind of did it different ways. But Marcus was kind of the bigger guy, and kind of made it happen down inside. And you'd see him pop out here and there. And I know Coach Smith kind of sometimes liked it, sometimes didn't. So I'm sure a lot of you coaches could tell stories of that. So I give Coach Brad Smith and the Lawson Boys All-Star, Marcus Sales.
Thank you, Chris. I don't know why we're all thanking Brian Rudolph so much, but no, just kidding, Brian. You're still part of it. Again, I want to thank you for recognizing Marcus Hales. Like Coach Glenn said, I think we can all throw numbers out when we get here because we're all deserving when it comes to that. I just want to talk about Marcus as someone that's a 4-year varsity player for us, 2-year runner, 2-year starter. And just what I kind of look at when I'm looking for a kid that wants to play basketball, wants to be a basketball player, someone that will spend the summer in the gym, someone will in the fall be in the gym throughout the year, and for 4 years he did that. And we had some good highs in those 4 years, we had some low times in those 4 years, but the one thing you can count on with Marcus was the fact that he was going to be there the whole time, whether the ship was sinking or the ship was as high as it could go. And I appreciated that from the day he stepped on because there was a time when he was a junior and we didn't play so well all the time. And I know between the two of us, it was a little frustrating, and it was good that he helped us kind of bounce back this year and get back to competitive. So I appreciate that from him. One of the bigger things that when awards come around that I'll say about Marcus that really, something I couldn't have ever said. He was just recently put on the academic all-state team. He's got to be pretty smart, and he's got that going for him. He's going to go to Mizzou next year. It's another good quality for him, so he's got that going. And I just will miss the fact that he's been a big part of Lawson basketball for 4 years. I also want to say thanks to his mom and dad. They've been big supporters for 4 years and have really helped me out with a lot of different things and tracking him all over the place. So I appreciate what they've done and appreciate Marcus, and we'll give him his award.
Next, that takes us to Dearborn and North Platte High School and Coach Carl Matt's Lady Panthers. I know that's a team and a lot of coaches had a lot of respect for Coach Matt and some of the things, decisions he had to make this season. But one of the reasons they continue to play well and continue to win ball games is their all-star and a younger player who we'll get to see for a couple more years, Emily Butler.
Glad to jump in front of him, but I never was able to beat Bryce, so didn't get to go in front of him even though I'm behind athletics. Now here to introduce Emily Butler, who's a great player for us, just a sophomore, led us in basically every category. The first player I've ever coached in 12 years to do that, led us in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. The blocks made me nervous. I'm not crazy about the blocks. I don't care if she ever blocks another shot for 2 years, but she's in foul trouble. We've got a whole lot of trouble as a team. I appreciate everything she's done. She got a lot of ups and downs and interesting things this year, and she was the rock all year that somebody we could count on. Had a lot of boxing ones, and I'm not sure some people didn't go triangle with two on her. I don't know. A lot of crazy stuff thrown at her. And she did a great job all year long. I was really proud of everything that she was able to do on the court. I had somebody ask me the other day, said, "What position do you think she's going to play next year?" I don't know. Just kind of stick her out there, and she'll find a way to get the ball. And, somebody's talking about kids playing every position. I think there's one game where they can play Boston this year the first time against their half-court trap. I kind of figured we had a real good chance to beat them if Emily can bring the ball up, throw it to herself in the middle, and then throw it to herself on the block to score. I think we had to beat, but unfortunately we weren't able to work that out by physics, so we went and lost that game. But now she had a great year. We had some other great players too that aren't here to be able to enjoy this as well. I think we have a good chance to have a good team again, and she'll be a big part of that for the next 2 years. In 2 years, she scored 600 some points, 500 some rebounds, and has 2 district championships she's been a part of, so she's got a great future, and I'm sure hope it all continues the same way the next 2 years. Thanks.
Well, I told you at the beginning I would try to keep it somewhat alphabetical. Obviously, if you look at any of my stories on our website, you can spelling's not my strong suit. So we will go back to Mid Buchanan and Fawcett. Maybe it was just the coach was a few minutes late. I was fashionably late bringing up Bryce Kemper and the Mid Buchanan Dragons. This year did something they hadn't done since 1986, was it? Win the district championship in what was one of the classic games I'll remember for the rest of the time I do this job, and one of the best games against Hamilton. Unfortunately for them, their season came to an end on this floor against Wellington in what might have been the 1 game or 2 games that I saw was better than that game. It was an amazing game. They had 2 All-Stars.